Thank you, Hugh. Good afternoon once again. And Wales have travelled over 5,000 miles during the Euros so far, but Denmark's journey has been an emotional one, and the scenes during and after their win over Russia were special. And in the stadium where Christian Eriksen began his career, they will be the sentimental favourites. But Rob Page's team have been up against it right throughout the tournament. Geography, temperatures and squad depth have always been against them, but the spirit and tenacity has been unquenchable, and it will need to be here in Amsterdam today. Wales in all red will get the game underway. The Danes, as the notional away team, will be in all white, but that noise will tell you they have virtually all of the support inside the stadium. Daniel Siebert of Germany is our referee, and Wales choose to take the knee pre-match. Denmark stand and applaud them. And TalkSport will have blanket coverage of England against Germany on Tuesday. But today, it is all about Wales. And inside the home of total football, total focus is required to secure a place in the quarter-finals. It is knockout football. It is win or go home. A break for Brathwaite on the far side for Denmark, but the sliding challenge comes in from Mepham. And in the end, it is Denmark who have a throw-in on the far side, their right. Playing from right to left in the first half, there is a small knot of Wales flags and their supporters high up above the corner flag, away to our left on the far side. A throw-in towards the near post, and it's controlled by Højbjerg all the way back towards Delaney. And in the end, Kjær, under pressure from Kiefer Moore, will give a first touch to Kasper Schmeichel, wearing sky blue, just as his father did for Denmark, defending the goal away to our right-hand side. Of course, Leicester City goalkeepers at either end. Kasper Schmeichel as first choice at the King Power Stadium, but Danny Ward has been the most impressive so far in the tournament, as Mæhle comes forward for Denmark on this near side, their left. Across into the penalty area from Delaney is blocked, and Joe Morrell will just ensure Delaney can't move forward, as Kjær pings a high ball wide to the far side, looking for the wing back on the right, Striker Larsen, over his head, and it's a throw into Wales. And here are the early thoughts of Dean Saunders.
Yeah, the manager would have said to the players, make sure the first thing you do is good. So from the kick-off, Kiefer Moore wins a header, Chris Mepham makes a good tackle. Both teams hitting long balls at the moment, trying to feel each other out. Let's see how we settle down.
2 minutes played in Amsterdam on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport. Wales 0, Denmark 0 in the round of 16. Coming up at 8 o'clock live from Wembley, we have Italy against Austria. And of course, all the games from now on must be settled on the day, with extra time and penalties if necessary. As Wales try and come forward now, Allen almost releases the pace of Dan James to the left, but the ball rolls between his legs out of play for a throw into Denmark, and that's a missed opportunity.
Oh, well, we just cut right through him there. It was Dan James at the heart of it, in the left back area, plays it inside to Ramsey. Ramsey slips Morrell in, Dan James keeps running, Joe Allen eventually puts him in, and it's just gone too far in front of him, otherwise he was in on goal.
Vestergaard with a high ball forward for Denmark into the centre circle. Rodon tries to intercept and find Allen, but Denmark quickly win the ball back. And then there's a heavy challenge from Allen on the far side on Brathwaite, but the referee allows play to continue as Mæhle will challenge for a high ball with Roberts on this near side, but it breaks kindly for Wales, and boos from the Danish fans as Bale brings it forward, finds Kiefer Moore in the right wing position. He's challenged by Kjær, but it breaks back towards Bale again. No one to hit inside the penalty area, so it's infield and short towards Ramsey, who then very carefully plays it wide to this right-hand side again, and Roberts, who looks to spin in behind, and then Ramsey is caught. Ramsey is fouled by Delaney, and Wales have a free kick midway inside Danish territory on this near side there right.
Great football. We look confident. We don't look nervous. I'd just like to say, shout on now if I could, to Kiefer Moore, stop running out the box. You've got to stay in the box. Let Bale and James get out on the flanks. You stay in the middle of the goal and wait for the right moment.
Joe Allen is over the free kick. Dan James will come across to this near side, and Wales have committed all their height forward around the penalty area, with the exception of Ben Davies. An early set-piece opportunity here for Wales with 4 minutes played. Allen and James over the free kick. Two men in the Danish wall. It's left by Allen, floated in by James, flicked on towards the far post, and in the end it was a header across the face of goal which was deflected. It was Chris Mepham who was on the end of it, and Wales have the game's first corner.
Should have scored. I mean, it's not the greatest free kick. Joe Allen and Dan James have stood on the ball out wide, right foot out swinger. It's bounced in front of Mepham. He's tried to head it at goal. It's got deflected nearly into Ramsey's path, gone out for a corner.
Well, it hit Simon Kjaer in the face and then bounced behind. The corner's played short. High ball in from James, nodded away at the far post by Vestergaard. But James will recover possession, finding Allen. Here is Roberts now, and a good ball wide down the right-hand side. James can continue up towards the edge of the penalty area, driven cross in towards the near post though, strikes the body of Vestergaard, and it will be another throw-in for Wales here with 5 minutes played on TalkSport in the Johan Cruyff Arena, and they made a decent start to this game as from the throw-in it's gathered on this near side by Ramsey, but he's just muscled off it by Miele, and Miele plays the ball down the line. Damsgaard was caught by Morel coming in from behind, and it was always going to be a free kick, and Denmark have the opportunity to clear their lines.
Needless foul. They're in the corner flag, they're in trouble, and Joe Morel's just run straight into the back of him, give a foul away, lets him off the hook. And Denmark need a breather because we're all over them.
And the clouds just banking up. We can see between the open portion of the roof here inside the Johan Cruyff Arena. It was a high ball forward, is headed towards his own goal by Roden, but it's gathered by Brathwaite on the right side of the penalty area. He's got support from Stryger. Low ball in looking for Damsgaard, headed away by Roden at the near post, but Denmark will look to keep the pressure on here. Stryger Larsen has support from Brathwaite, but it's very, very tight on the far side. Cleared away by Allen, but quickly back out wide to Brathwaite of Barcelona on the far side again. And very quickly Denmark have worked 6 or 7 white shirts around the Wales penalty area, but the pressure is good from Wales, and Denmark will have to try and pick their way through them now with Højbjerg, challenged by Moore, but it's a good ball wide to the far side, and Brathwaite. Stryger Larsen makes the run to the near post, but it's cleared away acrobatically by Morel on the edge of the penalty area. Then Moore will flick it wide to this near side looking for Bale, and Miele will go back towards Yannick Vestergaard once again, finding the captain Simon Kjaer, who was such an immense figure on and off the field during Denmark's opening game against Finland, which of course had the traumatic moments created by the illness for Christian Eriksen. And I was talking to a couple of Denmark fans in our hotel earlier on today, and they said they've been reliving those 10 minutes ever since, and I'm sure they are not the only ones. 7 minutes played here inside one of the true cathedrals of football, the Johan Cruyff Arena. All the fans very close to the playing surface, certainly relative to the Olympic Stadium in Baku and even the Stadio Olimpico in Rome, as Denmark come forward now with the former Ajax player Dolberg on the edge of the penalty area, comes in field beyond Morel, swings in a long, lazy right-footed shot which is high over the top for a goal kick.
Both teams going for it. So this is going to be a great game. I mean, they're putting 5 or 6 players in the box every time they get it wide. Kiefer Moore's got a problem because they've got 3 centre-backs and they're keeping the ball off him. He's on his own up there, but Bale's releasing himself to go to one of the centre-backs. James is releasing himself. They're relying on midfield players getting tight inside them.
This 2-tier stadium is awash with red and white, but of course in the main they are Danish fans. So many Danish national flags draped over the hoardings on all 4 sides of the stadium. There is that pocket of Welsh supporters high up above the corner flag on the far side. That area is usually the away end during Eredivisie games, and they will feel like the away fans here today. Bale coming forward now down the right hand side, just checks back in field, high cross towards the far post. It's controlled on the chest by Allen. Now back to Ben Davies. Davies with a high cross into the penalty area, and Miele wasn't too sure where Bale was, and Miele ducked out to the header, and Bale now gathers down the right hand side, cross low into the penalty area. Højbjerg was there, Bale's teammate at Spurs during most of this season. His clearance though only finding Roberts, and now Morel has been caught by Damsgaard, but the referee is happy for play to continue because Wales still have the ball. 9 minutes played here on Euro Game Day Live on Talk Sport. Wales 0, Denmark 0. The first game of the round of 16 at UEFA Euro 2020, and Wales coming forward again now with Bale. Left foot shot from him is just wide. It opened up for him on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Schmeichel was scrambling, and the shot left-footed was about a yard wide.
They're having all sorts of problems with Bale and Dan James. They're tucking in at the side of their two sitting midfield players, and their three centre-backs don't know whether to go out to Bale or James, and they're popping it in between the lines, and Bale's got the ball on the right-hand side, shifts it inside on his left foot, and like we've all watched him, Gareth Bale, I'm thinking, far stanchion, he just got a bit of cut on it, and it's just drifted wide. Great effort.
Dean Saunders, the only Wales player to ever score in the Netherlands, is with us here on Talk Sport today.
Thanks, Nigel.
Wales' record against the Dutch, played 5, lost 5 here, and some fairly heavy defeats along the way, and in their one previous visit to this stadium they lost by 2-0 in the build-up to the 2014 World Cup for the Dutch. Here is Dolberg, but his touch was heavy. It's cut out by Morel, who finds Bale inside the centre circle. First time ball from him, wide to the left-hand side, and Dan James has given the invitation to gather the ball, and he's done so. Christensen tries to make the challenge, but it's back towards Allen now, on the edge of the penalty area. And the width is provided once again from James. Low cross in towards the box. It hits the body of Kiefer Moore. There's a scramble inside the penalty area, and in the end a couple of Wales players almost got the shot in. It was Ramsey first and then Bale, but it scrambled clear by Denmark.
It just wouldn't come down. Bale and Ramsey, the ball ricocheted 3 times amongst the pair of them, and I was thinking goal, were you? I was thinking that's going in. Couldn't get the shot off.
Allen finding Morel. Wales on the front foot here, 11 minutes played, but 0-0 inside the Johan Cruyff Arena. Live on Talk Sport with Italy against Austria, live from Wembley with Natalie Sawyer, Ian Danter and Matt Holland coming up at the end of this game. And of course, if we do go all the way to a penalty shootout, we could have a very long evening here in Amsterdam.
We've got control of the game, Nigel. Their system's not working for them. They've got the front three are playing like a front three, and they've got 3 centre-backs with wing-backs, and in midfield they're short, and we're just popping it round them.
Now Bale on this near side, chops in field beyond Damsgaard, and Bale will continue up towards the edge of the penalty area. Fizzes in another left-footed shot from long range, but this time Schmeichel can watch it go a couple of yards wide.
Again, they've got 2 in midfield. We've got 5 in there. And we're just getting down just in the inside right position, inside left. There's loads of space, and we're moving the ball that nicely and sharp that at the moment they can't get near us.
Denmark, the first side in Euro history to qualify in second place in a group with only 3 points following that 4-1 success against Russia in Copenhagen on Monday. They played all 3 of their games at home, and this will feel like a home game for them here today in Amsterdam. So many great Danish players featuring for Ajax over the years. Christian Eriksen, one of several of course. Højbjerg goes down clutching his back, but no free kick is given. A back heel from Ramsey then doesn't quite come off. Denmark win possession back, and Daniel Seaberg, the referee, just checking that Højbjerg's okay.
Yeah, well,
I think it's okay.
There was a lot there. Kiefer Moore's sort of just strengthened him off the ball. There was nothing in it for me. He's back up on his feet. Wales playing really well. Can we turn it into goals?
Well, they missed a few chances before they finally scored against Turkey, and there was no real coming back for the Turks in that game. As Vestergaard finds his captain Kjær. Now wide to Striker Larsen on the far side. Down the line for Brathwaite. Lays the ball in field, but straight to Morel. Morel just taking his time to control it, but he's got the opportunity to bring Roberts into the play. Down the right-hand side, Roberts was looking for more movement ahead of him, but it was fairly static. So here is Mepham into the feet of Allen, who turns and finds Bale, and Bale now has the opportunity to attack on this near side, the Welsh right. Moore makes the run towards the near post. Here is Ramsey in space. Low shot from him is blocked. Will it fall into the path of Moore? No, it won't. It's swooped on by Schmeichel.
Great play again. in midfield, they get in a chasing. I mean, Højbjerg's an experienced player. At some point, I can see him looking at the bench now thinking, we need another player in here.
14 minutes played, 0-0, but Wales the better team so far, here live on Talk Sport in Amsterdam. The winners, of course, will head to Baku to play either the Dutch or the Czechs in the quarter-finals. And Wales will be returning to Azerbaijan, having played their first 2 games there. Wales have clocked up over 5,000 miles in their traverses across Europe so far, and there could be plenty of journeying still to come if they can win this game. Kjær, wide to the far side for Denmark, their right, and Striker Larsen. The ball in field again is play blind, and Morel is just picking up all of the pieces for Wales around the centre circle as Mepham plays it wide to this near side, and Roberts. 2 players, of course, who feature in the Championship but have played so well for Wales the longer the tournament has gone on. 4 Welsh players on yellow cards: Mepham, Davis, Allen and Moore. Should they receive another one, they will be out of a potential quarter-final in Baku next week. Brathwaite now for Denmark on the far side. He'll look to attack Davis, but Davis just allows the ball to drift across his body, and then he draws the free kick from Brathwaite. I don't think there was too much contact in that, but Daniel Siebert saw enough, and Wales have a free kick deep inside their own penalty area.
Well, I think that's good management from their manager. He's pushed Christensen into midfield now, so they've got another player. They've gone to a back 4. Whether he'll drop back in there as the play develops, but he's pushing into midfield to try and give him an extra body in there. So it's good management. Before something bad happens, he's gone and done something about it.
Danny Ward will take the free kick. Probably Wales' player of the tournament so far. Moore tries to flick the ball on. It's almost gathered by James on the far side. Højbjerg with a slice up towards the halfway line. Dolberg then losing out to Rodon in the air. The Danish fans on the far side want a free kick, but nothing is given. And it's a throw-in for Denmark on the far side. 16 minutes played. 0-0 here on Talk Sport. Over on Talk Sport 2 at 5:30 we have commentary on the Gallagher Premiership Rugby Union final between Exeter and Harlequins. The best way to follow all of the action today is to download the TalkSport app, and you can swipe between the 2 stations and follow the live action at your leisure. Another dreadful ball from Delaney for Denmark, straight out of play on this near side, and Wales have a throw-in midway inside the Denmark half. Roberts into Ramsey, and Roberts will now go back towards Rodon again, but it's been a very controlled performance from Wales so far. Allen. Højbjerg was on his shoulder, but plays it wide to this near side of Mepham. And Rob Page just in front of Chris Mepham on the edge of the Wales technical area, and he's telling them to switch the ball forward with a bit more pace here. It is a warm evening, but certainly not as warm as it was for Wales in either Baku or Rome. Now James on the far side, the left, he comes in field towards the edge of the penalty area, right foot shot from him, possibly took a deflection, but it's gathered comfortably at the near post by Schmeichel.
Great play again, 10-12 passes, popping it round him. We eventually get it out on the left wing to Dan James, as he normally does, drops his shoulder, comes inside, shifts it, strikes it, straight across for Schmeichel, but if he drops it, Kiefer Moore gets a tap in.
Now Damsgaard, first opportunity for the fresh-faced maestro to shine for Denmark. He's found Dolberg on this near side, laid back towards the edge of the penalty area, space for Højbjerg. The crowd urging to shoot, but he's clipped it wide to the left, and Mjela now finds 3 red shirts around him, so it's back towards Vestergaard. Delaney with a high ball towards the far post, nodded back in field, looking for Brathwaite, and cleared away in the half volley by Rodon, and flicked further clear by Moore up towards the halfway line. But now Kjær, and a good ball wide to this near side from Damsgaard. Mjela, very highly rated left-hand sided player, with a low cross into the penalty area, blocked by Roberts, and Denmark have their first corner.
Good defending, Connor Roberts, 1v1, you know, that's what you're in the team for. Don't get beat 1v1.
And this has been Wales's Achilles heel so far, set pieces. They've conceded both of their goals in the tournament from on this sort of area.
Gareth Bale's gone in the hole, he's level with the near post, he's got his body open, they've obviously talked about it. That's his job. Anything that goes in there low, don't let anybody get in front of him. It's happened too many times.
Striker Larsson is over the free kick, or the corner rather, for Denmark on this near side. Damsgaard has come short. Dan James will try and cut off that particular avenue of opportunity. Striker Larsson, high to the far post, very deep, headed back across the face of goal, and in the end the header from Christensen was deflected, and it's another corner for Denmark, this time on their right.
Great defending, Chris Mepham. That looked like Christensen was going to come in at the back post above him, and Mepham has just done enough to put him off.
And Striker Larsson, the Udinese player who has come into the side for Simon Vass, will take the corner kick on the far side. And there is plenty of holding going on from both sides in the area. Daniel Seabird is just having a look. Dolberg getting very familiar with Roden. Low in towards the near post. Dolberg tried to leave it, and in the end it scrambled behind. Kjaer looked to fasten onto it, but Wales have conceded another corner. That was similar to a number of the set pieces we saw against Switzerland.
They've watched us play. These managers, they know where the weakness is. They've tried to block at the near post. They've tried to pull Gareth Bale out of the hole, and they nearly got in front of him with a block. Now we've stuck Joe Morel in there as well. He's come off the post, so we got two in the hole to try and stop that.
And as the Spider Cam swoops towards the penalty area, Denmark have their third corner on the far side. Striker Larsson will take it deeper this time, headed away though by Moore. And Dan James sprinting up towards the halfway line, closing down Højbjerg, but Højbjerg has done well to exchange headers with Striker Larsson. Plays a high cross into the penalty area, but it's way beyond both Dolberg and Brathwaite, and Wales will have a throw-in on this near side. 21 minutes played on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport. Every single game from the UEFA Euro 2020 Championship. And today it is all about Wales. Of course, on Tuesday we will be live from Wembley, 5 o'clock kickoff, England against Germany. Tomorrow the Netherlands against the Czech Republic will be the early game from Budapest, followed by Belgium against Portugal. What a game that promises to be. And of course the winners of the Netherlands against the Czech Republic will play the winners of this game in Baku next Saturday. Schmeichel with a good ball out of defence, wide to this near side for Joachim Mæhle, who moved to Atalanta from Genk in January and has received rave reviews in Italy's Serie A ever since. But at the moment Wales are very well organised. This is a system now they've become very familiar with. They're comfortable in it, and as a result Denmark are finding it hard to break them down. Mæhle finding Delaney. Delaney looks to just chip it back over the top, looking for Mæhle, and then silly challenge really from Chris Mepham, going through the back of Dolberg on this near side, and it will be a free kick, of Mepham on a yellow card. Needs to be careful.
Another needless free kick, Chris Mepham. He's facing the touchline. He's got the ball under control, Dolberg. He's holding you off. Why run into his back and give a foul away and let him off the hook?
Wales have had 7 attempts on goal so far. Denmark only 2, but it's 0-0 with a quarter of the game played as the sun comes out again here, and Delaney has found space right hand side of the penalty area. High cross to the far post. Roberts knew that Mæhle was somewhere in the vicinity, so just heads the ball behind, and it will be another Denmark corner, their fourth, with 23 minutes played.
Well, they're taking risks as well. You know, when they've got the ball at the back, they've got 4 across the back line, our back line. They're pushing bodies forward. What we've got in our locker is to clear that ball and score within 5 or 6 seconds with Dan James, Bale, Ramsey and Kiefer Moore. So they are taking risks, and they are risking getting caught on the break.
Striker Larsson will take the corner. Damsgaard has come short. And once again, every single red shirt is back defending for Wales in or around the 6-yard area. Striker Larsson into the crowd, and it's flicked on at the near post, and it loops over the top, and it will be a goal kick. It was Yannick Vestergaard who got the first contact, scored 3 goals in the Premier League for Southampton last season, but no danger on this occasion.
Should have scored. Free header from a corner again. Vestergaard. See him doing it for Southampton. We've got to mark people better in the box. All our good football gets spoilt.
Wales play out from the back. Roden wide to the far side, and it's quickly played on by Davis, looking for James. James goes down, doesn't get the free kick. Denmark find plenty of room now in the central area, but Vestergaard saw Kiefer Moore coming and thought better of it. Checks back in field, and here is Christensen now playing in midfield. And that's why he's the central defender's ball, straight out of play. And Wales take the throw in quickly, looking for James, who just miscontrols, and Kjaer will play it back towards Schmeichel. And there's a real degree of confidence about the way he sprays the ball out of play, but he's put his man under pressure as Allen plays it forward now, almost wins it back from Stryger Larsson on the far side, and the wing-back does well to recover to avoid the corner, and the early ball forward there from Schmeichel almost played Denmark into trouble, and now a yellow card will be shown towards Joe Roden. It was Dolberg who went down, and Roden receives the first yellow card of the game, but it's also his first of the tournament.
Well, great pressing from Wales. Joe Allen, we hunted him down in their right back area, and they ended up having to clear the ball, and Brathwaite showed why he's playing at Barcelona. The ball, he gets in front of Roden, uses his body brilliantly, holds him off, flicks it inside, and then we end up giving a foul away. Yellow card. Now he's in trouble.
25 minutes played. 0-0 here on Talk Sport in Amsterdam. The opening game of the knockout rounds at Euro 2020, and after a good start to the game, Wales are just in retreat at the moment, as Denmark, having tweaked their formation, are beginning to find their feet. Well, I'm not too sure if Christensen playing in midfield is a long-term solution to their problems.
Well, he can stop people. He's not going to be good on the ball, but he can stop us having the freedom in the middle of the pitch which we've had.
Denmark with more possession, more corners so far, but Wales with more attempts on goal, but the bulk of those came in a very good opening 15 minutes or so, but Kasper Hjulmand has seen his side just take control for the moment. Here is Damsgaard, good ball infield to find Dolberg, infield onto the right foot, excellent goal from Kasper Dolberg. He returns to the Amsterdam Arena with a moment of real quality, stepping away from Joe Roden, and that right foot was full of Danish dynamite as the shot arrowed beyond the dive of Danny Ward. And Wales, yet again in this tournament, have to come from behind. It is Wales 0, Denmark 1.
It's a great goal from their point of view. They've got the ball at the back. Their manager deserves a bit of credit because he's put another man in midfield. They had an extra body in there. They've popped it round our midfield. Ends up with a through ball to Dolberg. He cuts inside on his right foot. He struck it with a bit of draw, and it's gone round Wardy's left hand in the side.
They are checking for a potential offside in the lead up to the goal. VAR are just checking this, so Daniel Siebert will just put a hold on the Danish celebrations. Wales had lined up to restart the game, and the Danish delight has just been dampened here. Daniel Siebert is waiting for the call from Bastian Dankert, and it looks as though the goal has been given. Indeed it has, and Wales are 1 down.
Well, it's gone against the run of play, but quality goal, quality finish.
Now Brathwaite flicks on, looking for Højbjerg, and Denmark very quickly sending a second goal here, but Dolberg just runs it out of play. It's the first goal that Wales have conceded from open play in the tournament. Dolberg's 8th international goal. He was scouted by the same man who brought Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Christian Eriksen to Ajax. He was very well thought of here as a young player, but just found opportunities limited, and he's returned though with a moment of real quality, and Denmark are coming forward again here. Brathwaite challenged by Allen. And it breaks kindly for Dolberg down the right. Long way to go, of course. 28 minutes played, but Denmark have the lead. And Wales did not take their chances in the early moments. Vestergaard with a high ball forward, taken down well by Stryker Larsen down the right. Allen will have to try and make the challenge, but it's back towards Højbjerg. The cross in aim for Damsgaard, volley cleared by Roden, and then Kiefer Moore has been caught by Vestergaard, and it will be a free kick for Wales midway inside their own half.
Right, punch on the chin. We didn't expect it. We played really well for 28 minutes. Roll your sleeves up now. Don't concede another one straight away, and let's force our way back in the game. Don't panic.
And don't forget, TalkSport brings you a podcast to kickstart your day as well, as we nail the biggest talking points from Euro 2020 with punchy personality, opinion, and all the biggest interviews from the managers and players that matter. Download or listen to the Euro Daily podcast on the TalkSport app or wherever you get your podcasts. Damsgaard was offside as he just looked to clip a shot towards goal, but it was off target and it wouldn't have counted anyway. And just looking back on the goal, the offside check was against Brathwaite, who was level with Rodon, but I'm not sure that Danny Ward was obscured by that. The shot was beating him for pace and quality anyway. Wales trail with half an hour played here in Amsterdam by a goal to nil. Of course, they reached the semi-finals 5 years ago, but they've work to do here to keep their hopes alive of a similar fairy tale run. There's Danny Ward, a hurried clearance on this near side, puts it straight out of play, and Wales just need to mentally regroup here, Dean.
Yeah, it's like a boxing match, you know, you're on top and then you get bang on the chin, you just regroup, gather your thoughts, get your composure, experienced players, settle the youngsters down, keep doing what we're doing.
Splash of evening sunshine illuminating the Danish fans on the far side as Mæhle comes forward now. Down their left, Roberts really has his hands full with both Mæhle and Damsgaard, and Damsgaard stepping in field beyond Morel, who goes to ground, doesn't make the challenge. Damsgaard is around the back, low into the near post, looking for Dolberg again. The ball hits him a couple of yards out, and eventually Dolberg goes down dramatically looking for a penalty, but he'd already been penalised and Wales have a free kick.
Well, they've got a bit of confidence now. They're playing little 1-2s out on the left wing and eventually get into the box. Damsgaard smashes it across the face. Dolberg, I think he tried to backheel it in from about 2 yards. It's a great bit of give and go play from Denmark, and he's tried to
really good save from Danny Ward.
Save. When you look at it again, Danny Ward has shut his legs so it didn't go through his legs, and he's got a right hand on it down low near post. Great save.
Similar sorts of saves from Danny Ward throughout the tournament, and there was another one as Wales try and move forward now, but Stryker Larsen just muscling Dan James off it. Kjaer's ball forward into the body of Brathwaite. He's been caught by Allen. It will be a free kick for Denmark, and Joe Allen needs to be careful. Another player who is carrying a yellow card in this game. And Wales have just lost their way.
Well, they've just stopped the flow of football that we were playing, because they pushed Christiansen into midfield, and it's now 3v3 in there, whereas we always had a spare man, and James and Bale went and made it a bigger overload.
Now Stryker Larsen coming forward, plays the ball infield, looking for Dolberg down the Danish right, but it's cleared away straight out of play by Chris Mepham, and Chris Mepham has stood there, arms outstretched, and I think at the moment Wales are just wondering where that control of the midfield has gone. Danish fans bouncing around all around the Johan Cruyff Arena at the moment. They believe they are heading towards the quarter-finals, and they would be heading for a very long journey as well to Baku if that is the case. Had some sun cream. Now Kjaer with a long ball forward, long way to go of course, 33 minutes played, but Denmark have the lead thanks to Kasper Dolberg, and he's working hard to win a throw-in on the far side. He's a very different striker to Yusuf Poulsen, but I'm sure Wales would have planned for Poulsen, so Dolberg coming in gives them a different sort of problem.
Yeah, and he's obviously injured, Poulsen. We've seen him in the tunnel with a Hugo Boss suit on, with a baseball cap on the wrong way round, chewing gum, with a pair of white trainers on. Trendy, that is now.
Essentially don't approve as Brathwaite wins a throw-in on the far side. 11 minutes to play in the first half, with Wales trailing here by a goal to nil. On Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, with Italy against Austria, live from Wembley following this game at 8 o'clock. Crossed high into the penalty area, looking for Dolberg again. There's a double deflection off Morel and Rodon. It could have gone anywhere inside the area. Mepham with the initial clearance. It almost bounced back to Dolberg on the goal line, but it's bobbled behind for a corner to Denmark, and Wales here are living very dangerously.
Yeah, they are getting lots of crosses into the box, and Dolberg looks like powerful in the box. It looks like they're struggling to mark him.
Kasper Hjulmand, the coach of Denmark, has been deep in conversation with Christian Norgard, the Brentford player, so possibly a change incoming in midfield. The corner's driven high to the far post. Delaney able to bring the ball down, jab forward towards Dolberg. The challenge comes in from Allen. Dolberg does well to keep the ball in play down the left. Delaney, high cross into the penalty area. It's flapped at by Ward, but he was fouled, and the free kick's been given to Wales.
Yeah, I've been trying to shout on to Joe Allen now. Stay on your feet, calm down. He can't resist putting his foot in, and he's like you said, it's dangerous. He can't make any challenges. Neither can Rodon.
It's a combination of Kjaer and Vestergaard who leapt into Danny Ward, clearly fouled inside the penalty area. He now clears long downfield up to the halfway line. Kiefer Moore tries to cushion a volley wide to the far side, looking for Ramsey. It's one back though by Morel. Here is Ramsey very deep inside the Wales half, but he's done well to spread the play. And Bale and Roberts can link up down the right. Bale now with that high switch of play from right to left, looking for James, but it's headed away by Striker Larsson. Dolberg then slips as he looks to win the ball from Rodon, and Wales have it again inside the Danish half with Morel. Now Roberts back towards Morel again. Moore made the run towards the edge of the penalty area, but Wales hold on to it, and now Allen finding Bale, who tried to slip Moore in down the right hand side, but Denmark will clear, but Damsgaard has just jabbed it out of play, and Wales have a throw in, and that's a brighter sign from the Welsh with 36 minutes played, and Denmark here leading by a goal to nil on TalkSport live from the Johan Cruyff Arena. Rodon on the halfway line, goes back towards Mepham. And here is Morel now inside the centre circle, flighted wide to this near side. Roberts will do well to keep the ball in play. He can't do so. I think Roberts has hurt himself as well in stretching for that ball. He may have tweaked something, and this will be a major blow for Wales if Connor Roberts is unable to continue.
Looks like he's holding his groin. He did stretch, it was going out of play, and he stuck his toe out to try and keep it in. And he's just dragged his groin, his left groin, gone. Get warmed up. I think he's in trouble.
Surely Chris Gunter then?
Yeah, obvious choice. He's playing well as well, Connor Roberts. Let's hope it's not a groin. He's not torn his groin, because he'll be out of the tournament.
The medical team for Wales are currently treating Roberts off the pitch. The question is, do Wales look to make that change? But he's clearly in some pain just beneath us here on the touchline down the Wales right, and Wales will continue with 10 players for the moment. Gareth Bale has dropped into the right back area, but I think he's done.
He's up, Nige.
It's Nico Williams who's coming on by the looks of it.
He's running, he's alright.
But then he's pulled up very quickly. I'm not sure he is okay, and the change will be made very quickly by Wales, and Nico Williams of Liverpool will come on. Denmark looking to capitalise on the extra player. Here is Brathwaite down the right hand side. The cross though is deflected off Davis. Kiefer Moore then goes down dramatically, claiming he was caught by Christensen. No free kick has been given though by Daniel Seabird, who was actually refereed this game very well so far.
We've just got to concentrate here. While obviously Roberts has gone off, we're down to 10 men. Don't concede another goal.
Mailer in towards Delaney on the edge of the penalty area, and Mailer again now with the opportunity to cross. It's low in towards the box, and good challenge coming in from Ramsey to win it back, and it's Bale who will clear the ball forward. Moore does well to rise and head the ball in field. A Denmark player has gone down. I don't think the referee's given a free kick here, but he will stop play to allow treatment for Simon Kjær. And he was caught by a flailing arm from Kiefer Moore, and in fact he has stopped play and he's booked Kiefer Moore, and Kiefer Moore would be out of a quarter-final should Wales get there.
It's not a yellow card. I mean, it's just a clearance. He's come back like big strikers do. He's come back to try and head it away, flick it on. He's got the flick on, and as he's on his way down, the defender's headed his arm. It's not a yellow card.
Things not going well for Wales here. A goal down, and now the change is made with Connor Roberts going off injured, and it's Nico Williams who will come on to replace him.
I'm a bit surprised at that. I thought a straight swap Chris Gunter. Experienced player, 1-0 down, knows what to say, which is more important. But Nico Williams, young, enthusiastic, box to box all day. Fingers crossed.
Well, he's a player who could soon be on his way out of Liverpool if somebody comes up with £10 million, and I'm sure somebody would. But Wales here need to get to half-time with no further damage. A goal down with 4 minutes to play, and they regroup with a different defensive unit here. Striker Larsson with the ball into the area. Morel leaps to try and clear. Kjær there with a back header into the box, headed away by Davis at the near post, and Delaney's low ball in is deflected behind, and it's another Danish corner, and Wales here are really creaking.
Well, yeah, you're playing against top teams, so you're going to get waves of attacks, and at the moment we've had 15 minutes where we've been penned in since they changed the system, and obviously the goals give them a lift. Good teams don't go 2-0 down now.
Striker Larsson is over the corner on the far side. He's played it short to Damsgaard. A high cross into the penalty area. Delaney is waiting, nods it back towards the 6-yard area. Wales need to win this header, and they do. It was Morel with the second header away. Allen then leaping. He's lost out in the air. Delaney in field, but Wales will win it back, and Bale on the right-hand side assesses his options, plays it in towards Allen.
Oh, no.
Laid off, but it's a poor ball from Allen. He was looking for Davis, but it's picked up by Damsgaard. Now Brathwaite down the right-hand side, looked to go beyond, rode it in the channel, but overhit the first touch, and it's a goal kick for Wales.
Yeah, we're on the rack at the moment. We started off brilliantly. 15 minutes, we're about to score. Their manager makes a change, changes the game. They score a great goal, and at that point now we just can't get hold of the ball now and get control of the game back. But the important thing is you don't concede another goal, because we'll get back on top again.
Part of the coaching team, Kit Symons and the Welsh analysts have just gone past us here in the press box and headed down towards the dressing room for the half-time debrief, with Wales trailing here by a goal to nil. Højbjerg on the far side, challenged by Allen. Allen has to stay on his feet, and does. And in the end, the back pass to Schmeichel is cleared long downfield. White-footed, Dolberg the target. Dolberg, though, wins the header above road and headed away by Mepham. Dolberg has gone down clutching his face, and the referee is allowing play to continue, and eventually it is played out by Højbjerg on the far side, and he will check on Dolberg, but there is no foul or free kick given.
I think that someone's had a word with Kiefer Moore and said, you know, you've been too honest at times. When you get pushed in the back, you got to go over.
That wasn't a yellow card, though.
No, that wasn't. Definitely not a yellow card. But a few times he's sort of more or less dived over, trying to get a foul. The ref's not fallen for it. We need him right now. The ball has to stick with him so we can get up the pitch.
90 seconds of normal time to play in the first half here. Wales trailing by a goal to nil. The goal scorer Dolberg lays it infield looking for Brathwaite, but Wales quickly win it back. Allen wide to this near side. First real involvement for Williams, plays it down the line, looking for the run of Ramsey, and Ramsey will try and keep the ball in play, and he's done so, but Miela comes in with a challenge and finds Vestergaard, and now Delaney will play it back towards Vestergaard, who just had an awkward moment inside the penalty area, but Højbjerg was the spare man for him, and now Højbjerg will bring it forward and play it wide towards Miela on this near side. We're inside the final 60 seconds of the first half here on TalkSport, with Wales trailing Denmark by a 1-0. Exeter against Harlequins is underway over on TalkSport 2 in the Gallagher Premiership final. Download the TalkSport app to follow the best of the action on both stations as Miela comes forward now for Denmark. Morel comes in with a good challenge on this near side, plays it out of play, and Wales have conceded another throw-in in a dangerous area.
That's great play from Joe Morel. Nico Williams gets too tight, Damsgaard flicks it over his head and he runs behind Nico Williams, covering for him. Great bit of team play.
Delaney back towards Højbjerg. Now Delaney again, and Højbjerg and Delaney are just beginning to run this game for Denmark. As we tick towards half-time, and there will be an additional 2 more minutes. Striker Larsen with the cross in, looking for Dolberg. It's flicked on. There were 2 Danish players waiting. It's Miela with the shot into the side netting and turned aside by Danny Ward. Wales was sucked in there towards the ball, and Miela with a free shot at goal, and once again Danny Ward keeps Wales afloat.
Well, yeah, I mean, when they break possession in the centre of the pitch, they end up getting out to the wing backs. So you're going to get crosses coming in your box. They must have put about 25 crosses in our box, 45 minutes. Wardy's made a good save there, Nigel.
Absolutely. They should have scored. They had two men on the overlap. Williams had been attracted towards the ball, missed it, and Denmark should have made it 2-0.
Yeah.
Thankfully they didn't, but it's a corner. Striker Larsen will take it. Damsgaard again is the short option. The Striker Larsen high into the 6-yard area. Braithwaite was challenging for it, headed away by Moore, knocked back into the area. Roden missed his kick initially, but then gets it right second time, just to hoof it wide on the far side. And Højbjerg is exhorting the Denmark fans on the far side to give them more noise. I think they've been pretty noisy.
Yeah, I mean, the stadium, the atmosphere is great in the stadium. It's amazing though, the manager, you've got to say well done to him. The game was running away from him. We looked like we were going to score any minute. He makes it one change and they get control in the midfield again.
30 seconds of normal time to play. Kiefer Moore controlling the ball with his back to goal, and then he's brought down by Christensen, and it's a free kick for Wales. Played short to Allen. Wales just hurrying things at times, but Allen plays it wide to this near side, and Williams. Bale is the option, but it's back in field to Morel, and Morel with a high ball to the wide open spaces on the far side. The left, and Dan James will receive, but that's half time. Big 15 minutes coming up for Robert Page in the Wales dressing room. They trail by a 1-0 thanks to a sumptuous strike from Kasper Dolberg, the former Ajax man, returning to the Johan Cruyff Arena in some style. Wales made an excellent start to the game but failed to score, and Denmark have since dominated. Half-time, Wales 0, Denmark 1. Thank you, Hugh, and it's Denmark who will get the second half underway, leading here by a 1-0. A reminder of the two sides once again. Wales warding goal. It's now Williams, Mepham, Roden and Davis, with Connor Roberts going off injured late in the first half. Allen and Morel in midfield, Bale, Ramsey and James behind Moore, and his booking in the first half would rule him out of any potential quarter-final. Denmark, Schmeichel in goal, Christensen, Kjær and Vestergaard the back three, although Christensen has moved forward into midfield at times. Striker Larsen, Højbjerg, Delaney and Miela across midfield, with Braithwaite, Dolberg the goal scorer and Damsgaard in attack. And they'd forgotten to bring a ball out here for the second half, but that's now been sorted out, and Denmark in all white, playing from left to right in the second half, get the game underway. Around 16,000 inside the stadium, which holds just over 50,000, and of course the vast majority are Danish. And that small group of Wales fans on the far side need to do everything they can in the second half to get behind their team. It's 11 players representing 3 million people, and about 100 people on the far side have been able to make it to Amsterdam and watch this game. As Morrell comes forward for Wales on the far side. Now Williams, the early ball forward, seeking out James, who has started the second half on the right, with Bell moving across to the left, and I think that's good, because I think Wales have to try and mix things up, Dean Saunders, to try and get Denmark off their stride.
Well, I just think we've got to keep our composure. You know, you've got to remind the players that in training every day, when we have games against each other, someone goes in front. It's not the end of the world. And their manager's tactically changed things, but what he has done in strengthening the midfield, he's weakened their defence. So if we get inside their centre-backs and full-backs with Dan James and Bale, then that's the bonus. Because now, instead of having 3 centre-halves there, he's got 2. So the change he made stopped the ball getting near their goal, which is what he's there for, the manager's. It's a great move.
Kiefer Moore flicking a high ball forward, but there was nobody in a red shirt anywhere near him, and Kasper Schmeichel was able to gather. It's now very grey overhead now, still very warm in Amsterdam. We had bright warm sunshine at the start of the game, but thundery showers are forecast during the second half as Williams tries to release James on the far side, the Wales right, but the ball's overhit, and it's gathered by Kasper Schmeichel, looking to emulate his father Peter and help Denmark to a European Championship title. Of course, they were the lucky losers in 1992 when they came off the beach to replace Yugoslavia in the tournament which was played in Sweden, and they beat everybody of any real quality during that tournament. But Wales know it is still only 1-0, and they trailed for much of the second half against Switzerland as Moore goes down, tangling again with Kjaer, and he has not had too much change out of Daniel Siebert, the German referee, so far.
No, it's a foul. He's not giving Kiefer Moore anything.
Now Brathwaite coming forward down the right for Denmark, using his pace beyond Roden. Low ball across the 6-yard area. It's cleared away by Williams, straight to Dolberg. That's 2-0, and that could be that for Wales at UEFA Euro 2020. A self-inflicted wound. Nico Williams giving the ball straight to Dolberg inside the area. He swept the ball beyond Danny Ward. It has been a great return to Amsterdam for Kasper Dolberg, but it could be the end of the road for Wales. Wales 0, Denmark 2.
You're right, self-inflicted. I mean, Brathwaite's got down the side of Roden, hit across the face of the goal. We've got more defenders, and in the build-up, it's a foul on Kiefer Moore. It should never have been awarded the goal, really. I don't know whether they're going to look at it again.
They are checking it.
It's a foul.
Brathwaite with the initial run into the penalty area.
We got 4v1 in the box, and Nico Williams, it's a big game for the young lad. And I don't want to say it after the event, I would have put Chris Gunter on there for that reason. He's a young lad, he's panicked, tried to clear it with his left foot.
They're checking for the ball potentially going out of play in the lead up to the goal. I'm not sure if it was down this near side. We aren't seeing the replays that the VAR are looking at, and the check is over, the goal is given, and Wales have a mountain to climb. Trailing by 2-0, 3 minutes into the second half, and Rob Page clapping his hands, looking to get something from his team, but that was an awful goal to concede. Errors all over the place. As Ramsey flicks the ball in field, looking for Williams. Williams then collides with Damsgaard. It's all very scrappy, and Williams plays it straight out of play. And at what stage does Rob Page look to his bench once again?
Well, he's got to have a chat now with Kit Simons. Say, right, what do we do? We're not out of it. It's 2-0. We're not out of the game yet, but a long way to go. But
you can't give away goals like that.
That's just basic defending. I mean,
the ball, he could have left the ball. It was going absolutely nowhere.
It's going out of play. I mean, He's running back towards his own goal. He's facing Danny Ward. The ball's on his left foot, and he's not cleared it properly. Instead of clearing it with a bit of height and distance, he's passed it straight across the face of the goal. Gift for the striker.
I mean, it's not quite in the Gavin Maguire category as an error leading to a goal against Wales, but it is something which Wales fans may have to remember for some time. Trailing here by 2-0, and Denmark coming forward again now with Delaney, and there is so much space on the far side for Mæhle to attack the penalty area. Of course, he scored against Russia. He plays it in towards Damsgaard. It could almost fall for Brathwaite, but it's hooked away by Allen, and Wales here are all over the place. Now Stryger Larsen once again, back towards Højbjerg, and Denmark are in total control of this game, leading by 2-0. 6 minutes into the second half here on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport in Amsterdam. And at the moment Wales are going out. There's Brathwaite, nutmegs Ben Davies, high cross into the penalty area. Williams with a back header away from goal this time. It's picked up by James. Early ball forward looking for Ramsey, but it's headed down by Vestergaard. And now Damsgaard. Long range shot from him is blocked by Roden. It spins across the penalty area, gathered by Brathwaite. Down this near side, the Danish right. Now Stryger Larsen. Denmark here are sensing more goals. With the ball in field from Brathwaite, doesn't find Højbjerg, and it's Kiefer Moore back defending in the left back area. Clears it down the line. It was deflected down the line, and it will be a throw into Wales. Well, you look at the Wales bench, Dean. Who is a potential player to bring on? Harry Wilson maybe to try and prompt, as Joe Allen has been caught by Delaney. Delaney on a yellow card for Denmark, which is why he was quick to apologise. David Brooks,
creative player. Brooks. Wilson's a creative player. Tyler Roberts, creative. But we're not out of it. You know, I know it's 2-0 and the game's going against us. We're not. It's a long way to go yet.
Bale plays it square towards Morrell. Williams is offering width and power on the far side. It's now poked on by James to find Williams. High cross in towards the far post, and it was a header across the face of goal from Bale. I think he should have left it for Moore because he was steaming onto it, and he would have had a free header 4 yards out.
Well, I mean, it's a great bit of play, and Nico Williams gets the byline, stands across up. Kiefer Moore, it looks like he's going to head it in the net, empty net. And Gareth Bale comes across him last minute, takes it off his head, heads it wide. That could have been 2-1. Back in it.
Well, Wales are looking to just switch one or two things around. Maybe there's a possibility of going to a back three to get Williams forward more on the far side. He's now having to do some defending as Dolberg, who has been an inspired choice from Kasper Hjulmand so far, putting the pressure on. And here is Højbjerg for Denmark. 53 minutes played. Denmark leading here by 2-0. Both goals scored by Kasper Dolberg. Wales heading out at the moment, but it's been won back well by James. And here is Ramsey coming forward now for Wales. Down the right-hand side, he's got Moore waiting in the centre. The crossing, though, was swept clear by Kjær. Moore was the only real target for Ramsey to aim at. And the Danish defenders did their job.
Nearly another goal. I mean, Ramsey broke down the right. Bale was catching up. Kiefer Moore running to the penalty spot, and he's bent it across the face of the goal. Got cut out of the near post, but we had 2 or 3 getting in there late. Good signs, though. You know, we could have scored 2 there.
Looks to be a 3-4-3 now for Wales, with Williams pushing on the right and Bale trying to do a similar job down the left, but it does leave Wales exposed. But they're 2 goals down in the knockout game, so it doesn't really matter if they concede more from this stage, as Delaney has gone down on the far side. He may require some treatment, and Rob Page is deep in conversation with his backroom team here, because they've got to do something. 10 minutes into the second half here, live on TalkSport in Amsterdam, trailing by 2-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he has changed the shape. He might have. I mean, he could push Nico Williams on as right wing back, Bale as left wing back, and 3 centre backs, Mepham, Roden and Ben Davies. But I'm not sure whether he has changed it or they just got into that shape. But
Harry Wilson is warming up, so he's a potential creative player to bring on as Dolberg flicks the ball on for Denmark. What a day it's been for him so far. He will be the centre of attention if it stays like this. Very popular figure as a young player with Ajax. Now plays for Nice in France, but he had a big opportunity here and he's taken it.
yeah, at 2-0, it's always a dodgy scoreline when you're winning 2-0 because the team gets one back and you know the panic's on. So Robert Page has to be stood there thinking, if we go 3-0 down because I make a change that might make us worse, we're out of it. So it's at what point does he go for broke?
Davis with the ball down the line, left hand side, headed away by Kjaer. Both Bale and Moore are in the vicinity, and Denmark try and play their way out of trouble, but Christensen has just nudged it straight out of play. It's a throw-in for Wales, taken quickly by Ramsey, looking for Moore on the edge of the penalty area, but neither he or Kjaer are able to head the ball on, and it's gathered by Kasper Schmeichel, and the change will be for Denmark. Christian Norgard of Brentford will be coming on. A player who's had an injury-hit season for both club and country, but will be looking forward to featuring for Brentford in the Premier League next season. As Kasper Hjulmand is infuriated that the assistant on this near side has given Wales a throw-in. And both coaches here today would not have been involved had the tournament been played on time, because Arge Hareide, the Norwegian, was in charge of Denmark. He was due to take them through the Euros, having led them to qualification, but he had a contract with Rosenborg at the end of the Euros when they should have been played, so Kasper Hjulmand was brought in for this competition, and of course Rob Page is currently filling in for Ryan Giggs. Now Morel back towards Davis, Roden rather, for Wales, and Denmark leading by 2-0 with 57 minutes played here on TalkSport are very comfortable. Don't forget Italy against Austria coming up at 8 o'clock live from Wembley with Natalie Sawyer, Ian Danta and Matt Holland. Tomorrow the early game is the Netherlands against the Czech Republic from Budapest. At the moment Denmark are going through to play either of those. Belgium against Portugal, what a cracker, in Seville at 8 o'clock. As Bale has it for Wales, down the left hand side, looking to go beyond Højbjerg. High cross to the far post, Moore is waiting, it's headed clear as far as James with a shot deflected inside the area, and Schmeichel is able to gather.
Well, that's great football from Wales again. We end up getting it out to Ben Davies in the left back area. He finds Bale in a gap in the channel. Bale takes it in his stride, stands across up to the back post. Kiefer Moore heads it back across the goal. Dan James side volley, hits one of their players with it, goes wide.
Yeah, it was Christensen who was in the way, and he's just been winded by that, but change being made here for Denmark, and it's a defensive one. Mikkel Damsgaard is going off, Christian Norgard is coming on. I mean, we heard plenty about Damsgaard following his performance against Russia, and of course he had a role in the opening goal. Wales also making a change, Harry Wilson coming on for Joe Morel, and they had to make that.
Yeah, well, I just thought the last 5 minutes we started doing well. You know, we're creating a few chances. We look like we're going to score. So, you know, if one of them goes in, you're backing it 2-1. But he's brought Harry Wilson on now for Morel. Morel's a defensive midfield player. Harry Wilson has got an eye for a goal. Really good at free kicks.
And it's a double change, and it's two Brentford players who are coming on. Mathias Jensen is the other one, and he's replaced Thomas Delaney. Jensen had the difficult task of coming on to replace Christian Eriksen in the original game, and here is that change now which we told you about a few moments ago, with Christian Norgard coming on to replace Mikkel Damsgaard.
Yeah, he'll probably now, instead of leaving three up, Damsgaard, Brathwaite and Dolberg, he's probably going to leave just Brathwaite and Dolberg up there and play another man in the middle of midfield. Yeah, he's not gone to a back five. Christensen's gone to right back.
And An hour played on TalkSport here in Amsterdam at UEFA Euro 2020. Wales trailing here by 2-0. Denmark have had the better of the Welsh in recent years, beating them twice. Recently in the Nations League, and they're coming forward again now with Striker Larsen, and the shot pinged in from Højbjerg, but it's blocked by Wilson. And now Jensen challenged, and Wales win it back. It was Ramsey who won it initially, but the ball not favouring Wales as the shot is eventually bobbled towards goal by Vestergaard, and it's gathered by Danny Ward. Allen wide to this near side, and Bale quickly into the path of Wilson. Bale now with the early ball high and wide to the far side. Norgard doing well to trap the run of Dan James and head the ball out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Wales, needing a goal here to spark some sort of revival. Williams back to Ramsey, who cuts in field from the right hand side. Now James on the edge of the penalty area. Williams again. It's all very tight for Wales, but here is Bale popping up in a central area. Bale plays it square to Davis. All very narrow for Wales at the moment. Wilson finding Allen just outside the centre circle, and it's wide to the far side, and Williams again. James demanding the ball. He receives it. He'll take on Mæhle. Delivers the crossing, but Mæhle sticks with him stride for stride, blocks it, and Wales have a throw-in by the corner flag on the far side.
Well, it looks like they've shut up shop. They're taking the 2-0. He's gone back to a back three. I'm a bit surprised at that. We're getting on top again.
But Wales have a long way to come back into this game. Gareth Bale is winding up for a long throw on the far side. Pops it in towards the head of Wilson. It goes all the way through the penalty area. Now Ramsey, left hand side, looks to stab a cross in. Davis will try and win it back, but it's Brathwaite defending to just launch it out of play, and Wales will have a throw in, and Bale will come across from right to left, will he, to take it? Indeed he will. 62 minutes played, Wales 0, Denmark 2 on Euro Game Day Live, and Wales looking to find a way back into the game here. Bale with another long throw, hurled high into the penalty area, cleared as far as Allen. Allen with the volley, connected well right-footed, but it was too high.
Well, I just thought for a minute, Joe Allen there, the long throw, it's headed out to him. He's about 25 yards out middle of the goal, and it's an obvious volley. It's how long you can wait to let that volley drop. So it's nearly in the floor, and you keep it down. He's just hit it a bit too soon. It's gone over the bar. Good strike, but we're not out of this game. One goal changes everything.
And Wales striving for that goal at the moment. 18 minutes into the second half. Kasper Dolberg with 2 goals for Denmark. High bouncing ball forward for the Danes once again. It's volley cleared by Roden. Now Ramsey wide to the far side, and Williams, he looks for the pace of James again, but it's headed away by Vestergaard. Wales just need to be a bit cuter in those sort of areas as Denmark come forward again now, and the skies darken even more overhead. Feels as though a big shower is on the way as Kiefer Moore looks to break forward now for Wales, but Norgard with a challenge, and Moore left something on him. Has to be careful on a yellow card, but I don't think the referee saw it, and play continues. Now Kjær. Don't forget, England against Germany, live on TalkSport, 5 o'clock on Tuesday. The best coverage throughout the day across the TalkSport network. And there are some big games on Monday as well. Croatia against Spain, followed by local derby in many ways, France against Switzerland. But the Olays coming from the Danish crowd now as their team knock the ball around, but Højbjerg's ball forward is quickly cut out, and Ward will play it downfield again. Now Norgard finding Jensen, very clever player for Brentford with the hair swept back with the Alice band. He's got support from Mæhle inside the area. Jensen once again just checking back, swings in a dangerous cross, and a scrambling Danny Ward was happy to see that ball arc wide of the far post.
Yeah, no danger. I mean, we're gambling now because James and Bale are not running back. So when they get a chance, we're hoping they miss. That cross has gone, just missed the far post. It's going out the back.
Tyler Roberts is warming up for Wales as Bale brings a long ball down, but it's challenged quickly by Christensen. And some breaking news, the Health Secretary Matt Hancock has resigned. For more on that, you can tune into Times Radio or Talk Radio. Now Allen for Wales, trailing here by 2 goals to 0. Mepham wide towards Williams, whose error led to the second goal for Dolberg. Wales are enjoying plenty of possession now inside the Danish half as Denmark just drop deep and they're content to try and soak things up. A team which lost their opening 2 games could be heading towards the quarter-finals. Now Allen, tricky play from him inside the area. Low shot though was blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box. It loops high into the air, nodded down by Roden on this near side, looking for Davis, but Denmark will clear and they will try and break. But Højbjerg's ball forward doesn't find Dolberg, who is looking increasingly isolated, but Denmark do have that cushion of the 2-goal lead.
We're pinning them in though. I mean, as a manager, you make these changes, you're inviting pressure on you. We just got to score one. I think if we get one, we'll get 2.
Davis finding Ramsey down the left-hand side. Now Bale with time to cross high into the penalty area, met at the near post by Højbjerg. And Jensen's just happy just to get a big left foot through it all the way downfield to Danny Ward. Long time to hold on.
Yeah, and early. We
saw
now
Switzerland do this, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. We just took total control of the game again. Could have scored 2.
Allen moving forward now, finding Williams down the right-hand side. James in support. The red shirt swarming forward. Allen picking out Ramsey on the edge of the penalty area. Can he find the angle for the cross? He's found Williams. Williams with a high ball in, looking for more. He's not really able to jump, but it's gathered at the far post by Bale, wearing the Wales captain's armband. Bale with a low ball into the box to find Ramsey. High cross to the far post is cleared eventually. There's pinball inside the penalty area before Davis looks to volley the ball towards goal. He makes connection with a Danish player, Højbjerg. 2 Spurs players there in direct action, and they both come away from that clutching their ankles and may require treatment.
Kiefer Moore looks a bit tired to me. I mean, we're putting enough balls in the box, and there's some strikers who find the ball when it's coming in, and there's some strikers don't score unless the ball hits them on the head. I've managed loads of them, but the people like Alan Shearer and Andy Cole and them types of strikers, Harry Kane, they're actually on the move and they pick the flight of the ball up and they get to the ball before defenders.
Here's an interesting change.
Got to do a bit more of it.
Coming up, to remember Andreas Cornelius, record signing for Cardiff at one stage, wasn't he?
Oh yes.
Yeah, you have to think back and think, what did he actually do for Cardiff? Because the answer was not very much.
No.
Now plays for Parma, on loan from Atalanta, and he will be on very soon, and it would really rub salt into Welsh wounds if he scores a goal. And it's coming on for Dolberg, so he'll be leading the line. Well, Kasper Dolberg has done his job, recalled 2 goals, and at the moment he is leading Denmark to the quarter-finals.
Allows you luck. Poulsen gets injured, the replacement gets 2.
So we now have Leicester City goalkeepers at either end, and Cardiff City, or former Cardiff City striker at one end, and Kiefer Moore at the other. The Wales have had 11 attempts on goal, but only 1 on target.
20 minutes left.
But they need to create pressure with a goal. Allen, one of 2 ever presents in terms of Euros finals games in the Welsh team, along with Gareth Bale. Bale now receives it from Allen on this near side, the left. Comes in field, finding Ramsey. He's not really been able to influence the game as he did against Turkey. Bale again, looking for Wilson, but it's all very tight. Norgard with the challenge. Here is Striker Larsson, quickly forward to Brathwaite, who turns and lays it into the path of Jensen. And Brathwaite and Cornelius will be up front now. Brathwaite, a player who was very comfortable to move into the channels, and he's another player who didn't really impress in the Championship with Middlesbrough. I think Tony Pulis was quite happy to move him on at the time, but Brathwaite almost worked his way into the area, but Mepham gathers, and here is Davis. Inside the final 20 minutes on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport in Amsterdam. Wales heading out as it stands, trailing here by 2-0. They produced that late revival against Switzerland to earn a point in their first game in Baku 2 weeks ago, but they need even more here. Ramsey on the left-hand side, has Bale in support. Ramsey though clips it forward to Kiefer Moore on the edge of the penalty area. He tries to play it wide to Bale, but Bale's shoulders slump as the ball never arrives, and Simon Kjær can clear forward up to the halfway line. Now Cornelius back to Stryger Larsen, the early ball forward, and it's a clever run from Højbjerg from midfield down the right-hand side. Cornelius steaming forward was looking for the ball in field, but Højbjerg just controls, then plays it back towards Christensen, and Denmark just looking to keep possession, keep the ball, and at the moment they are just sucking the life out of Wales here.
Well, they've just gone to a back five and took one of the strikers off, and they're just accepting we're going to win 2-0. It's a dangerous game they're playing, because if you get one, the momentum goes in Wales' favour, you end up getting an equaliser.
High ball played forward for Denmark, looking for Stryger Larsen on this near side, but the ball just flicked off Davis, and it will be a throw-in to Denmark, and Davis just looks exasperated, and things are just not going for him, not going for Wales in this game, although that second goal really was a real mess.
Robert Page, I'm sure, would like to get Brooks on the field, but he must be looking, thinking, I can't take James off, I can't take Bale off, I can't take Ramsey off, I can't take Kiefer Moore off.
Well, you could
have to be Joe Allen.
You could take Moore off and play Bale down the centre, but we will see if that comes to pass. Stryger Larsen with the cross in, looking for Cornelius. Good leap though from both Mepham and then Roden to clear, but here is Brathwaite on the edge of the area. Norgard wide to the far side. Mæhle will gather by the corner flag. Now Højbjerg, another goal now, and that will be that. Norgard again. Brentford of course have a real link with Denmark from their coach Thomas Frank Downwards, and they've had some very fine players, and now Norgard with the cross into the area, cut out by Roden at the near post, and now Wales have the opportunity to break, and it's Ramsey down the centre. He's got Bale sprinting forward down the right hand side, the pace of the pass just forcing him wide, but there are 4 red shirts breaking towards the penalty area. Bale continues, needs to be a good cross, it's cut out by Kjær, and the opportunity comes to nothing.
It's unlucky, we do look dangerous when we break the pace.
Here is Allen now. Moore wants it on the edge of the penalty area, aimed high towards Moore, needs shirts around him, but it's cleared as far as Wilson. Wilson will trick his way into the penalty area, and he went down under the challenge of Mæhle, but there was no hint of a penalty. And Denmark are just doing the basics right here. They came through a difficult opening 15 minutes or so, and a number of their players are going down, just struggling with cramp. It's a very close evening here. The temperature is still rather sultry, and that's been an impact for some of the players so far. And don't forget, TalkSport brings you a podcast to kickstart your day as we nail the biggest talking points from Euro 2020 with punchy personality, opinion, and all the best interviews from the managers and players that matter. Download or listen to the Euro Daily podcast on the TalkSport app or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you download the TalkSport app now, you can either listen to us or the conclusion of the Gallagher Premiership final from Twickenham. Exeter against Harlequins, which is currently over on TalkSport 2. A couple more changes are imminent here for Denmark, as Simon Kjær, the player who was just receiving treatment,
looks like he's pulled his hamstring. He's feeling his hamstring.
Well, they're trying to strap it up.
Going back to what I said, what Robert Page can do, I'd be reluctant to take Kiefer Moore off. He's got 22 goals this season.
Tyler Roberts is coming on.
Anybody with a goal instinct on the pitch, you try and leave them on. Bring people off who are never going to create one and never going to score one.
Well, Tyler Roberts yet to score a goal for Wales. Only scored one goal for Leeds in the Premier League this season. But he will be coming on here with 14 minutes to play. Changes first though for Denmark. And Nicholas Boyleson, another former Ajax player, now with Copenhagen, is coming onto the field. And it's Jens Strege Larsen who is coming off. So that will be a replacement in the wide area.
Quarter of an hour to go. And now, Robert Page has got to go for it. Maybe put another one up right alongside.
David Brooks is coming on as well.
Yeah.
Positive shots, fucking shots.
And Boyleson just handing on the armband to Kasper Schmeichel as Kjær goes off, and the player who comes on is Joachim Andersen, who of course spent this season on loan at Fulham from Lyon. So they have got plenty of defenders on the field now. Brooks and Roberts will be on very shortly for Wales, and those changes will be made now. And Kiefer Moore is the player coming off to be replaced by Tyler Roberts. And if you're going to score your first international goal, now is the time.
He's probably feeling, Robert Page, I've got to do something. We're slipping out of the tournament. I've got to do something. I've got to make changes, and everybody has their own opinion on it. He has to make the decision.
Dan James coming off to be replaced by David Brooks, and we always talk about the threat of Dan James, but Denmark have policed him quite well, haven't they?
Well, yeah. Well, for the first quarter of an hour, we played really well. 20 minutes. They make a change, score a great goal, and then we give them the second goal. If it's 1-0 now, this game's on a knife edge, but we give them a second goal. They got a cushion.
12 minutes to play. The two goals from Kasper Dolberg are sending Denmark through, and they look to be heading out when they lost their opening two games to Finland and Belgium. Of course, they've had to deal with the absence of Christian Eriksen as Cornelius fires a shot and it loops high into the air off a deflection, and it's gathered by Ward. But the recovery of Christian Eriksen has really given both the Danish team and the Danish public a real sense of unity, and that has been carried into this game here today. Here is Allen for Wales. Time running out, trailing by 2-0. Mepham finding Williams. Roberts coming short. He will look to patrol the channels, and if he's doing that, the midfield need to get forward into the area. Bale now driving a ball wide to this near side. It's gathered by Davis. Davis with a high cross into the penalty area, flicked away at the near post. And now Allen. And the last time Kasper Dolberg played in this stadium, he was part of the Ajax side, which conceded a 2-goal lead to lose to Spurs in the Champions League semi-final. But that seems a long way off at the moment as Cornelius just bumps Brooks off the ball, and he's charging forward down the centre. 4 Welsh shirts around him. In the end, Brooks brings him down, and the first significant action from David Brooks will be a yellow card.
Yeah, we lost the ball on the edge of the box. Tyler Roberts has gone on, and within 30 seconds he's on the touchline on the right wing. Stay in the box. Put you on to score, not cross it.
Yellow card for David Brooks. And Andreas Cornelius has done more in this game already than he did in a whole season at Cardiff City. As we tick towards the final 10 minutes on TalkSport, Italy against Austria coming up live from Wembley tonight with Natalie Sawyer, Ian Danter and Matt Holland, of course. 45,000 fans allowed inside that stadium this evening. It will be live for you on TalkSport. And then also at Wembley, England against Germany on Tuesday. Also a 5 o'clock kickoff. We will have blanket build-up throughout the day on the TalkSport network. Brathwaite over the free kick, 20 yards out, slightly left of centre. Brathwaite curls it right-footed too high over the top. It's a goal kick. We keep hoping, Dean, but at the moment it doesn't look as though it's going to happen.
Well, they've sort of took the sting out of the game a little bit, and we've not, the chances we've had, we've not taken them. Someone's got to step up the plate, top corner, or we need a bit of luck. Need a ball to break in the box for us. Going back to the second goal, Nigel, for me, Chris Gunter don't make that mistake. I know it's easy afterwards, but he's got 101 caps. He doesn't make that mistake.
But here is Nico Williams, the player who did give the ball straight back to Dolberg inside the area, looking to maybe redeem that error here as he breaks towards the edge of the Danish box. Ramsey twisting and turning beyond Højbjerg, the ball just sticking though as he looks to try and play the ball forward. Here is Brooks on the left. Wales need to get him forward, they need to get players forward inside the box here to give him something to hit. Allen finding Roberts. Roberts comes off the central defender once again, spins and turns, finds Bale on the edge of the penalty area. Good challenge though as Bale looked to let fly, and Højbjerg brings it forward now for Denmark. You just sense he was looking for the contact to go down. Cornelius brushes aside Allen, and then the challenge does come in as well on the far side from Williams, but Cornelius strong enough to ride that. Here is Mæhle wide towards Brathwaite on the right. Brathwaite with a low ball fist in towards the near post and challenging for it. The ball deflecting wide off Mæhle. In fact, it will be a corner kick.
Yeah, they're just breaking on us. We don't look as if we've got enough guile in front of the goal to produce something, a bit of clever play. We know we've got it, but at the moment we haven't. This is where you hope Bale or Ramsey, James, Brooks, Wilson, one of them produces a bit of magic and gets us back in the game. 12 minutes left.
Corner kick on the near side, which Jensen will take. Denmark looking to seal the deal here. And they're not committing too many white shirts into the area. It's deep and high to the far post. It's brought down by Højbjerg, and the ball has gone behind. It will be a goal kick. 7 minutes to play on Talk Sport in Amsterdam. A proper football city, but it's one which will bring the curtain down on Wales's participation in the Euros, unless we see something fairly sensational here. Roberts, midway inside the Denmark half, strong enough to turn, has support from Ramsey. The outlet down the left is Davis, and he's found by Ramsey now. Bale spinning in behind Brathwaite, and now Ramsey again. And Denmark are just doing a very good job of closing down all of the opportunities, and in the end the pass from Davis is straight to Brathwaite. Here is Mæhle charging forward now, the shoulder charge from Bale into his back, and it will be another free kick for Denmark. And Wales here just need to ensure they don't finish by losing their composure.
Well, we're 2-0 down, and we haven't got an out-and-out centre forward on the pitch. You won't see that very often.
But it's a free kick which Mæhle will take. We'll be heading to Wembley at the end of this game for all the build-up to Italy against Austria, with Natalie Dance and Matt Holland. Jensen over the free kick. Once again, only 3 Danish players on the edge of the area. It's whipped in. It's a good delivery from Jensen. It's headed away initially by Roden. The ball spinning towards the byline. Braithwaite just allowing it to drift behind, and it will be another corner kick here for Denmark as we tick towards the final 5 minutes. And we've got to say, Dean, apart from the opening 15 minutes, Denmark have been very comfortable.
Yeah, they have. Once they made the change and they sorted it out, they've been on top. But at 1-0, you know, anybody can score the first goal. Doesn't mean it's the end of the game, but when you give them the second one in the manner we give it to them, just after half time, knocks the stuffing out of everyone.
Corner's played short by Jensen to Højbjerg. Back towards Jensen again. High cross to the far post, a downward header is tipped away by Ward, and then the shot from Brathwaite is off the post, and then the second effort is driven across the face of goal, and somehow it spins wide, and Denmark there should have made it 3-0.
Yeah, it was game over. How they've not scored there. They've had 3 attempts at scoring. The ball's ricocheted, hit the post. We're back up the other end though.
Here is Williams now. Needs to be a good cross in from the right hand side. Williams with the high ball in, looking for Bale. Headed away though, nodded down by Cornelius. Sprinting across to this near side. Roden will take a throw in for Wales, and Rob Page acting as the ball boy with 4 minutes to play. Denmark leading here by 2-0. They had a fairy tale run to the final and the victory back in 1992. Something similar could be brewing here for them. Williams wide to the far side again. Wilson back towards Williams. It's nodded down, and Brooks though unable to pick out a teammate, and it will be a throw-in for Wales. And Bell maybe thinks about throwing it long, but that's a tactic which has not really worked, so Davis will try it instead, looking for Bell, who does flick on, but it's cleared away very comfortably at the near post. And Mieda looks to bring it forward now for Denmark, but the challenge comes in from Allen, and it will be a throw-in. And we are heading towards the 87th minute, and no real sign of a Wales goal.
It's not looking good, Nigel. I think we're slipping out the tournament. We've not done enough. We've just simply not done enough. First 15 minutes great, didn't take the chances, and since then we've not done enough.
Now Brooks in space down the right hand side. Roberts in support. The challenge comes in though from Vestergaard, and Boyleson will bring it forward for Denmark. Højbjerg wide to the far side, and Jensen has found Boyleson, who is in behind Williams. Mepham has gone across to try and make the challenge, and he does so, but it's a throw into Denmark. And they have been very good, you've got to say. We obviously focus on the Wales performance, but they've made the most of the errors, and they've been gifted a 2-goal lead early in the second half, and they have just played the game out very comfortably. Here is Jensen. Clips it wide to Mæhle. All sorts of space inside the area for him. He comes in field onto the left foot, fires it high into the net, and that is that. 3-0 to Denmark. Joachim Mæhle once again showing his quality, and Wales' journey at UEFA Euro 2020 is now over.
Yeah, Ben Davies got sucked inside there. They got a ball played into the D. He got sucked into the D. They switched the play. Good finish. Comes back on his left foot. Smacks it in the top corner. Wardy, no chance. You know, Nigel, if you look at the big picture, the players have done brilliant to do what they've done. They've got to the latter stages again, and you can see where we're short.
It's levels, isn't it? It's levels.
Yeah. And the players you're bringing onto the pitch, you can see we're short of players at the highest level, but they've all done great to do what they've done, so I'm not going to criticise them. We've played against the team now on a wave of emotion. They've lost their first 2 games, Finland and Belgium. They've come back and beat Russia 4-0, and now they're on a roll, and they've got the momentum with them. They've got the home crowd with them, and we haven't done enough today.
No,
we haven't done enough.
Not good enough.
We've not created enough, and I mean the second goal is a howling error. Poor
that really knocks the stuff out of the team, doesn't it?
Well, 1-0 down, you're still in it. Right after half time, we started the second half all right, and we give them a goal, 2-0, and then they just sit back. They put 5 at the back again.
But we have to be honest, to get to the round of 16 in the European Championship with a side which has 15 players from outside the Premier League, it's an achievement, but it's coming to an end here as Wilson fouls Mæhle, and Wilson is off. Straight red card. Wales' second successive dismissal in the Euros. It was a petulant challenge from Harry Wilson, ball of frustration, and Wales are unravelling.
Well, it was right beneath us, and it looks like it was a bit of a petulant challenge. I'm not sure whether it was a red card, and we will see it again. He's a bit late with his tackle, and I'm afraid it is a red card. He's just kicked him. He's cut across Harry Wilson, running down the right wing, cut across him.
Well, VAR are checking it, but it was frustrated. But he's kicked him, and if you do that, you're going to get sent off.
Yeah, he's not tripped him, he's kicked him.
Well,
head loss.
Bastien Dankert is checking the red card, but I don't think there will be any reprieve. We're into 5 added minutes for Wales, which really will prolong the agony at this stage. Trailing by 3 goals to nil. The Denmark fans are already starting their party. The check has been concluded, and Harry Wilson has been sent off. What a story for Denmark, but what a letdown for Wales. As Roden clears away on the far side, and Amsterdam is going to be very lively tonight. It was going to be lively anyway, because it's the first weekend since their COVID restrictions have been loosened, but it will be full of Danish fans celebrating their victory and wondering how on earth they get to Baku. We can maybe give them some tips.
Well,
get on a plane and keep
at least we
east.
haven't got that trip in front of us. That's one consolation.
Well,
do you know what though? There was always the doubt about our team is can we keep the ball out of our net? Can we keep clean sheets? Because we have got players who can hurt most teams. They're not today, but you know Bale can win you a game. Ramsey can win you a game.
Bale's going to be booked now for applauding the referee. He's had a discourse throughout the game with Daniel Siebert.
He's not been the best, the referee. I'm not just making excuses.
But if you give away goals like the second one, you can't complain about the referee.
No, but I'm not saying that. He's not been the best anyway, for both teams.
But Kasper Schmeichel will gather. He has had a very quiet second half. Wales had such a good start to the game. The opening 15 minutes or so, they were full of life, full of threat, but it quickly fizzled out, and Denmark are looking now for a second successive game with 4 goals. They could get it. Here is Cornelius. He's found Brathwaite. He's onside. He makes it 4-0. Offside. But the flag has been raised belatedly against Martin Brathwaite, and the Barcelona man has head in hands, but it doesn't really matter at this stage.
He took it well, didn't he? It was
a brilliant finish.
Lovely little Cornelius cushioned layoff. Brathwaite takes it on his right foot, chops back inside his left, bends it in the far corner.
VAR are just having a look.
He's offside. Surely. Not that it matters.
It was a tight one, and Daniel Siebert is just waiting. So Denmark will add themselves to the list of teams to beat Wales in a major tournament. Of course, it's England, Portugal, Italy, and Pele's Brazil.
I tell you what though, Nigel, we've had a great run for our money. All the Welsh fans must be proud.
That night against Turkey will go down as one of the great nights.
Yeah, the comeback against Switzerland, we get a man sent off against Italy.
They're taking an age over this check. Why on earth don't they just give it or give offside? It's 3-0, it doesn't matter.
Well, I suppose they've got to get the decision right. I mean, it must be close, taking all this time. Not that it matters, but as I was saying, we've had a great run.
Was Brathwaite just beyond Roden? It is a matter of millimetres.
His shoulder looks slightly offside. Who knows now?
Brathwaite is still waiting.
Well, they can't make their minds up by the look of it. It is close.
Herr Siebert and Herr Dankert are in conversation.
There's no lines. They're not showing us any lines across the screen. He's given
the goal. It is 4-0. And now Martin Brathwaite can celebrate. And Wales are limping out of the tournament now. 4 goals down and a man down. It has been a long journey, but it's ending.
I wouldn't look at the scoreline, Nigel. The manager, he knew what was going to happen. We either go for it and get beat 4, or we get back in it. So he's left people up the pitch, gambled, and we've let goals in. So don't look at the score. 2-0, we were dead and buried.
So Martin Brathwaite, formerly of Middlesbrough, now of Barcelona, makes it 4-0. And Wales just want to drag themselves off the field here.
Great finish, Brathwaite there. He's got it on his right foot, goes to shoot, bit of disguise, back on his left, bends into far corner, looked offside.
And we are into the 97th minute. And this is a chastening day for Wales. It's all over. Denmark can celebrate their progress through to the quarter-finals. Wales players slump to the turf in disappointment. They have come up with some great moments during this long journey via Baku, Rome and Amsterdam. But it's ended here with a heavy defeat in the knockout phase. No glorious run to the last 4 this time. Denmark have won by 4 goals to 0, and Wales are out of the European Championship.